are with Talks on the Way of Wisdom, the forum that discusses star battles in human consciousness. In verses 26 and 27 of the Dhammapada, we delve into the Buddhist concept of the treasure of the vigilant mind. Buddha reveals vigilance as the ultimate greatest treasure, a mindful state that safeguards us from carelessness and inner chaos, guiding us to profound fulfillment and peace. What does it mean to embrace vigilance as a way of life? And how can mindfulness protect us from the traps of fleeting pleasures and arrogance? Through these timeless teachings, we uncover the powerful role vigilance plays in building a life of clarity and joy. Join us. Watch the entire video. The Treasure of the Vigilant Mind. The Buddhist text Dhammapada, a collection of wisdom attributed to Buddha himself, elevates consciousness toward what he calls the greatest treasure, vigilance. In verses 26 and 27, Buddha highlights the importance of wakefulness and mindfulness in human life. Vigilance is not simply carefulness in actions and thoughts, but a way of being that protects us from carelessness and negligence and guides us toward inner harmony. For those living in a state of constant awareness, vigilance becomes an unspoken mantra that separates them from daily arrogance and attachment to transient pleasures. According to Buddha, people who ignore this value are prone to arrogance and distraction, fall into the chaos of aimless pleasures, and lose the path to genuine satisfaction. Carelessness, born of a lack of vigilance, leads to restlessness and dissatisfaction, encapsulating the mind and distancing it from peace and inner happiness. In contrast, those who cultivate mindfulness and contemplation transcend the limitations of the fleeting and approach what Buddhism calls the supreme joy. The treasure of the vigilant mind is not acquired through external achievements or wealth accumulation, but through inner self-awareness. By focusing on the qualities of constant vigilance, the Dhammapada invites us to understand how mindful existence leads to freedom from momentary attachments and desires. To gain such knowledge, we must ask ourselves, how do carelessness and negligence distance the mind from harmony and inner satisfaction? In this analysis, we delve deeper into how vigilance serves as a tool for inner transformation and its potential to change how we perceive the world and ourselves. Pleasures and the trap of negligence. Buddhist verses reveal the fundamental trap of negligence, the natural attraction of the mind to pleasures, which, in the absence of awareness, becomes an obstacle to spiritual progress. According to the Dhammapada, pleasures are like a snare that quickly catches the unmindful mind. Through the pursuit of fleeting delights and experiences, a person unwittingly enters a cycle of endless desires and disappointments, deviating from the deeper meaning and satisfaction that mindful existence can offer. While pleasures themselves are not inherently corrupt, their pursuit without measure and mindfulness leads to emptiness and loss of inner harmony. Verses 26 and 27 highlight the danger of succumbing to temporary desires, which act as a source of suffering, diverting us from developing the mind. Negligence, symbolizing dispersion and lack of self-control, detaches us from the essence of life. Buddhist texts suggest that freedom from pleasures is not their exclusion from life, but the ability not to be attached to them. One of the strongest ideas in the Dhammapada is that vigilance and mindfulness are antidotes to negligence, a tool for liberation from the trap of fleeting delights. Ultimately, a person who practices vigilance finds satisfaction and frees themselves from attachments, being able to assess their desires without falling into the grip of momentary temptations. A life based on conscious presence leads to a sense of fulfillment, while negligence ends in suffering and disappointment. In this light, the Dhammapada encourages us to seek joy in mindfulness, rather than escape to quick pleasures. The shield against arrogance. Arrogance is a state of mind that clouds clear thinking and diverts one from the opportunity for mindful existence. In verse 26 of the Dhammapada, Buddha warns that arrogance goes hand in hand with negligence, as a person unfamiliar with vigilance is prone to pride and disregard for others. This arrogance is dangerous as it closes the heart and mind, leading to isolation and suffering. The true value of vigilance lies in its ability to open the mind to the truth and purify the consciousnesses of the illusions that accompany arrogance. Through vigilance, a shield against arrogance is built, helping one recognize their own vulnerability and the virtues of compassion and mercy. In Buddhism, mindfulness enables us to see the limitations of our minds, transforming pride and arrogance into humility and respect for others. This shield prevents the formation of haughty attitudes that block the potential for inner change and divert us from the path to wisdom. With the help of vigilance, we become not only more mindful of our actions and reactions, but also more sensitive to the people and environment around us. Thus, we understand that arrogance and selfishness are barriers to true satisfaction and joy. The vigilant mind is not just a shield against pride, but also the key to a pure heart and free spirit, which are foundational for the Buddhist path. Awakening to supreme joy. The ultimate goal of the vigilant mind, according to Buddha, is to achieve a state of supreme joy and peace, known in Buddhist texts as the supreme joy. This type of joy is not related to external possessions or achievements, but to inner harmony and self-knowledge that result from constant contemplation and mindful existence. Vigilance serves as a means through which one can perceive the truth about their nature and the world around them, overcoming the illusions that divert them from the spiritual path. Verse 27 of the Dhammapada emphasizes the importance of contemplation as a means to achieve this supreme joy, noting that only those who are in contemplation can reach this state. Awakening to supreme joy requires dedication, as mindfulness must be cultivated and maintained to overcome the mind's impulses. Buddhist practices such as meditation and reflection support this state by allowing the mind to let go of worries and focus on the essential, a state of pure consciousness and joy. Supreme joy cannot be achieved through external means because it is rooted in accepting the present in a state of inner peace. A person who has reached this state does not experience anxieties or discontent, but instead feels a sense of gratitude. In this sense, vigilance is a tool for exploring a vast inner space that transcends momentary pleasures and doubts, leading to a state of happiness and fulfillment. The theme of the treasure of the vigilant mind directs us toward the importance of mindfulness as a core spiritual value that can enrich every area of life. The issue of pleasures and the trap of negligence explores the danger of being captivated by momentary pleasures. While they may seem appealing, pursuing them blindly and without restraint can lead to inner chaos. In these moments, vigilance helps us recognize the transient nature of pleasures and overcome them through self-control and insight. The issue of the shield against arrogance examines how vigilance protects against arrogance, a trap that can distance us from the essence of human compassion and understanding. A careful and mindful mind cultivates humility and the ability to understand others, which in turn helps us build healthy relationships based on respect and kindness. With the issue of awakening to supreme joy, emphasis is placed on how conscious presence leads to sustainable inner joy and knowledge. In the end, the treasure of the vigilant mind reminds us that we can cultivate qualities like resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. This is a path that teaches us to find joy in the present through knowledge, self-control, discipline, and so forth, rather than in the pursuit of the fleeting. Let vigilance be our compass in life, guiding us to true happiness and self-knowledge. We invite you to reflect on how you can apply vigilance every day, creating space for true understanding, humility, and joy. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. We'd love to hear your opinion.